everybody. In all my years of teaching, one of the most common shortcomings I see in a student's technique is the area of hammer-ons and pull-offs. So I thought I'd do a video on how to make your hammer-ons and pull-offs more clear, how to make them more easy to execute, and how to make your technique in general more efficient. Alright, so let's talk about hammer-ons. Hammer-ons are actually very simple. We're just going to pluck a note with first finger and then hammer on the finger above it, second finger. And the common problem here is too much finger movement. People approach that hammer-on from way above, and I think there's an illusion that if you do that, you will have a stronger hammer-on, but really all you need is velocity into the string. You need a sudden movement, but that movement can come right next to the string. Okay, so the movement is the big thing. If you're playing with a hand position that looks more like this, in other words, I started in this like fingers perpendicular to the strings kind of position, and I like that because each finger has pretty much equal orientation, equal access to the strings. But if you play like this, third and fourth fingers have to really reach, and in a hammer-on they have to come from farther just to get to the right position, and it's more of an awkward feeling movement. First finger's all contracted back here, so that doesn't feel good either. So I'd strongly recommend gravitating towards this kind of more squarish hand position, and it should make your hammer-ons a lot more easy to execute. Okay, pull-offs are a little more complicated, but not too bad. The general problem I see with pull-offs is that the motion, instead of pulling down or pulling across the string, people pull up. Now in this guitar, the note barely sounds. The nylon string guitar is pretty demanding as far as how you execute the pull-off. On an electric guitar or a acoustic steel string, the strings are much more sensitive, especially the electric. And so pretty much any movement off the string is going to produce some other sound. So that'll probably produce your pull-off if you do make this motion. But it's not the most efficient technique. It's not the most healthy technique. You know, you're creating tension when you're flailing your fingers like that. And in general, your pull-offs will just be cleaner if you try out this other kind of motion. So I'd encourage you to work on this on any guitar, but like I say, nylon string or acoustic, that's probably the ideal place to really work this. I'm going to break this down to 3 steps. One is to play the note. And the way you do that, the way you prepare your finger is important. You don't want to grab too much fingertip. You want to grab just enough to play the note and then pull through and get some sort of friction there to create the pull-off. Also, you don't want to use too much tension. You want to use just enough to sound the note correctly, and then you won't have too much to pull across the string. It'll be easier to pull through or across the string. So we're going to prepare and play. We pull across. Now another thing here is when you pull across, or before you pull across, the lower finger needs to be in place. If you try to throw it in there at the very last second, it's risky. The note may not sound. Plus, again, it's not the most efficient technique. So I'd have that lower finger down before you execute the pull-off. Okay, and then the last step would be to relax the finger back into preparation position. So we're going to play, pull across, and then relax. Play, pull across into the neighboring string, then relax. Okay, third finger, let's try that. Play, pull across, relax. And then fourth finger. Let's talk real briefly about a combination of hammer-ons and pull-offs. So we're going to do everything we just did in sequence. Hammer-on, pull across, and then relax. Make sure that when you hammer on, you're grabbing just enough of the fingertip, because if you grab too much, if you land flat-fingered, you're going to have a hard time executing that pull-off that follows. So where you land in the hammer-on is important. And then relax. So as you do this more and more, as it becomes ingrained into your technique, these steps will start to blend together, and you'll start to think of it as one motion. So a little bit more advanced take on this would be to think of just throwing your finger at the string from a nearby place and then relaxing it back into preparation position. And I'm still using the next string as kind of a backstop to almost bounce off of back into ready position, relaxed position. Well, I hope you got something out of this video and that your future guitar playing will be a little bit easier. If you did enjoy it, please hit like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.